The day we buried my husband, Michael, I felt like my entire world had been lowered into that coffin with him. We'd been married for 11 years, not perfect years, but years filled with laughter, small arguments, forgiveness, and dreams. Michael was the calm one. He'd always say, "Lydia, no storm lasts forever." But this time, the storm didn't pass. After his funeral, I thought I'd have at least a little peace, space to cry, to breathe, to process. But barely a week later, his mother and 2 sisters showed up at our home unannounced. They didn't bring flowers or food. They brought an eviction notice. At first, I thought it was a misunderstanding. His sister, Denise, waved the papers in my face and said, "This house was bought with the family's money. You have no right to stay here now that Michael's gone." I remember standing there on the porch, still in my morning clothes, holding a cup of cold coffee. My hands were shaking. I said, "Denise, Michael and I bought this house together. Our names are both on the deed." But she smirked. "That's what you think." Mom said Michael never changed the ownership after he refinanced. The house still legally belongs to him, and now that he's gone, it belongs to us. Her words sliced right through me. They walked through the house like they owned it, touching furniture, pointing at things, whispering. His mother said softly, "You've had a good life here, Lydia. Don't make this harder than it needs to be." I couldn't believe it. These were people who had cried beside me at the funeral. People I had cooked for, hosted, and loved as family. And now, they were turning my grief into a battlefield. That night, I couldn't sleep. I sat in Michael's study, surrounded by his books and the faint smell of his cologne. I opened his desk drawers, looking for anything, any proof, that the house was truly ours. Bills. Receipts. Old photos. Then, tucked in the back of one drawer, I found an envelope with my name written on it. It wasn't a letter. It was a business card, of Michael's lawyer, Mr. Reynolds, and a sticky note that said, "If anything happens to me, call him." My heart skipped. I called the number first thing the next morning. Mr. Reynolds arrived 2 days later, tall, calm, and professional. He offered his condolences and said, "Mrs. Coleman, your husband left specific instructions with me. I was just waiting for the family to contact you, but I guess they decided to act faster." He opened a folder from his briefcase and laid out several documents on the table. The first was Michael's will. And to my surprise, it was handwritten. Signed. Witnessed. Notarized. In it, Michael had left everything, the house, the savings, the life insurance, to me. He had also written a note. "If my family ever questions my wife's right to stay, this letter should speak for me. She stood by me when no one else did. Everything I leave behind is hers, because she earned it through love and loyalty." I broke down in tears. Mr. Reynolds placed a comforting hand on my shoulder. "Your husband knew this might happen. He told me his family might try to push you out. He wanted to make sure you were protected." I couldn't even speak. The next day, I invited Michael's family over. They came smug, assuming I was giving up the house. I served them tea and kept calm. Then Mr. Reynolds walked in. Their smiles froze. He introduced himself and said, "I'm here on behalf of Michael Coleman. Before we discuss anything else, I need you all to see this." He unfolded the will on the table. His mother's face drained of color as he read Michael's letter aloud. Denise interrupted, shouting, "That can't be real. He would never cut us out like that." Mr. Reynolds calmly replied, "It's notarized and verified. You're welcome to contest it, but you'll lose." Michael left video evidence of signing it, and it's already registered with the county clerk. You could have heard a pin drop. His family sat there in silence, their confidence melting into shame. Then Mr. Reynolds added, "One more thing, any attempt to harass or threaten Mrs. Coleman from this point forward will be considered a violation of the estate protection order." They left quietly. That evening, I sat alone on the porch, watching the sunset. For the first time since the funeral, I felt Michael's presence, not in the room, but in my heart. He had protected me even after death. I whispered, "Thank you, Michael. You kept your promise." And for the first time in weeks, I smiled through my tears. Moral of the story: true love doesn't end with death, it protects, defends, and speaks even in silence. When greed and betrayal rise after loss, truth and loyalty always find a way to shine through. Justice may take time, but it never forgets those who loved sincerely and stood with a pure heart. If this story touched you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful real-life stories like this.